Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's People Chat. We are excited. Krystal Speed, HR strategist Krystal Speed, and I, Lori Ruffin, founder of the COO team, are meeting today to talk about 4 ways to make Everyday Spirit Day within your organization for your team. So, we want to just invite you to share this live. If you are leading a team, if you know others who are team leaders, we want to invite you to definitely share this on your page because this is definitely something we're going to cover things that will be helpful for you to put in your pocket as you endeavor to make every day Spirit Day. Hey, Krystal.
Hey Lori, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing well, and I'm really excited about today's topic. I feel like it just is a little quirky like me when we think about making it a Teen Spirit Day, and really thinking about how does the culture, how does the ethos of an organization really permeate everything that you do, so that there's a connection between your people and your ethos, and it really gels well. So I'm really excited, and just I noticed that some people are starting to join us. So good afternoon, Kendra. It's great to see you. And as others join us, just drop us a line and definitely feel free to engage in the conversation with us, because we'd love to hear what you've seen work really well in organizations, as well as maybe some things that we can think about to really beef up how we're supporting an ethos within an organization that makes people feel valued and a part of the team. So.
Definitely. Krystal, I think it's a really important topic because, truth be told, we all can relate to that experience of working with an organization where you're like, I don't really enjoy being here. And then there are other organizations that you've worked with that you're like, oh my gosh, that was like the best. We had such team camaraderie and it just was a joy to come to work every day. And so, as leaders, we want to create the kind of environments that leave all of our teammates, whether they're volunteers, employees, or contractors, feeling like, man, I get to do this. I get to come and contribute my gifts. I get to be working alongside of these amazing people, and I love it. Like, that's the kind of impact that we want. And so
Mhm.
I'm really excited that you're going to break down these 4 tips for how we can make every day Spirit Day for our team. So
Yeah,
kick
excellent.
us off.
Okay,
What do
well,
we need to
great.
be thinking about?
Well, one other thing before we like totally get kicked off. I noticed that
Okay.
people are joining us. So as you join, if you have any questions, definitely type them in the comments. But also, whether you're watching this live or if you are watching the replay, make sure that you do share this with other individuals, because it's an excellent topic to be able to share some resources in regards to really building employee morale, employee engagement, and ensuring that every day is a Teen Spirit Day. So just wanted to say that. But yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and jump in. So we're going to talk about 4 effective ways. And the first way is really being able to pay attention and to recognize. So as leaders, we really should have keen eyesight on what's going on around us, as far as what are our team members doing, what are they involved in, and really being able to find opportunities to notice and show that we notice the work that they're doing, as well as being able to recognize it. I know within a lot of organizations, we have formal process in place where we can recognize individuals through like a performance appraisal process and maybe bonuses or a recognition pool type of thing. But there are also little ways that we can do so each and every day, whether it's saying, hey, I really like that job that you're doing on this particular project. Our customers are really engaged and excited about the service or the product that we're providing. It may be in a team meeting, being able to really give individuals opportunities for peer-to-peer recognition. So I think it's really powerful when an organization is able to take notice and be intentional about taking notice of what individuals are doing to really help drive the mission and the vision forward, and being able to say, hey, we noticed you're doing a great job, and here is a recognition. Um, even though monetary recognitions are always great, there are other ways that you can recognize individuals besides, a bonus or something like that. It may be, providing additional opportunities related to the trajectory of a career progression plan, and really saying, okay, we noticed that you're doing like some great work within this project management realm, and we know that you'd like to like go for PMP one day. So let's go ahead and think about what are the different opportunities that we could really build into that. Also, little trinkets go a long way, even if it's just like a favorite kind of treat or candy bar. Sometimes that lets someone know that, hey, we see you, you're valued,
Yes.
and we just want to
Mhm.
recognize the great work that you're doing. So I would say pay attention to your people and recognize them in whatever way makes sense.
Yes, I think that's really important. It's nothing like someone working hard and no one notices. You know what I mean? Like, and
Mhm.
I think it's really important also to notice everybody, like at every level. So sometimes you have people on the team that have more upfront kind of roles, like maybe they're out and about. There are people who speak all the time, who present all the time. But you got to think about who's keeping that floor clean
Mhm.
and who's cooking the food. Someone who might not be on the front line, but they may be doing some sort of role that is not kind of like a front and center kind of role. I think sometimes, unfortunately, and I think it's part of like American culture, quite honestly, we have a kind of like a habit of rewarding certain types of people as well as people with certain types of skills. And I think if we can notice all aspects and praise all aspects of the people who contribute on our team, I think it would really encourage people. Like a little bit of encouragement goes such a long way when
Mhm.
someone is like, I see you. I saw how you prepared that. I saw how you set the room for the meeting that we had.
Right.
I saw how you mentored that child or whatever, depending on what kind of organization you're leading. I think that a little bit goes such a long way.
Mhm.
And I think too, as leaders, it's really important for us to kind of be a student of people. Um, and really know like what are ways for me to encourage that person. Like everybody may not want to be like invited to the front and say, now
Right.
we're going to celebrate XYZ person. It could be that they like a good job, a thank you, um, is really affirming to them, encourages them to keep going.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, I love that.
Right.
Pay attention and recognize.
Right. And so a little bit of what you were just saying, I think really helps move into the next point of being able to celebrate the individual. And so by knowing our team members well, we also know how we can celebrate them in a way that is meaningful to them. So thinking about, some individuals are maybe more reserved and really don't need a lot of public recognition. And it may be like, hey, coming to them at their desk and saying, you know what, this was really great. I just wanted to let you know X, Y, and Z that we noticed this. And so, really understanding the person and what speaks to them is incredible and meaningful to them. Also, I see Kendra's talking a little bit about timing and immediate feedback, which is also so very helpful and positive. I mean, it's great when you're able to get recognized, but the fact that if it happens 2 to 3 weeks later or a month or two later, it doesn't mean as much as if right when it's noticed that you're able to do some type of recognition, whether it's an
Mm-hmm.
informal recognition at first and then more formalized later on, but really being able to feedback. But also, when we think about celebrating the individual, I think it's important for each person to really be known, to be
Mm.
able to understand the personalization and the individualization that is necessary, and really being able to say, hey, you're important to our organization. You're more than just a role in this organization. We see you as a whole
Mm-hmm.
person because you bring your whole self to this job. And really being able to celebrate that, I think, is very meaningful. And it really helps organizations kind of differentiate between it just being a job and it really being a place where a person is able to put their passions and their expertise to use for a greater mission and greater impact.
Definitely. I agree. I definitely agree. One other thing I would say I think is important to consider as leaders, inevitably there may be, I've seen it where certain leaders kind of may focus on a particular person on the team. It may be that they identify with them, that they see themselves in that person. If that's the case, I think it's important to like also like not pick favorites. You know what I mean? Because sometimes that can really have a adverse effect on morale and dampen the team spirit if every single time you turn around it's like, oh, we're celebrating XYZ person, and it's every single time. It's like,
Right.
well, no, there's not, you cannot win the Super Bowl with one person. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody plays a role. You need the people who tackle, you need the people who throw the ball and, block. And so I think it's, that individualization is really important, but seeing everybody and seeing their unique contribution and celebrating that, I
Mm-hmm.
think is really, really, really important.
Right.
So I'm glad that you called that
Right.
out.
Well,
What else?
sorry.
I was
Okay.
just go ahead. What are you about to say?
No, I was just saying, like, you're correct. And thank you, Kendra, for your feedback again. That it is tough, but it requires a bit of intentionality. I'll try not to like go off on a tangent, but I really feel that um, the skills that I bring as an HR strategist were really honed in the classroom as an elementary school teacher. So a lot of the things that we did for our kids, ensuring that we had individualized attention and really ensuring that we recognize the strengths and the abilities of all of our kids and really ensured that we crafted the learning experiences to support them, I think really plays into like how I support organizations and their people strategy and their people operations. So a lot of things that are just good practice in other industries and other sectors, we can definitely borrow and take and utilize. We're helping our team members as leaders. But so we talked about one, paying attention and appreciating and recognizing individuals. We talked about the second one, being able to celebrate the individual. The third one is connecting the dots. And what we mean by connecting the dots is really being able to have, communications that provide timely updates, but also communications that are open. Really being able to help support individuals with understanding kind of maybe strategy through execution and what that alignment is, how they're supporting it, and really being able to share the information that individuals need in order to be successful in their individual roles, as well as teams and an entire organization. I also like to think about when you're connecting the dots, it may just be so. Last week, I believe it was, we talked about the types of conversations that you should have early and often with individuals. And if we think about those conversations and layer it into an overall communication strategy, we're really thinking about how are we supporting people and really being able to be effective in their roles and understanding how they integrate with other individuals on the team, as well as support the strategic direction and the strategic goals of our organization. And so I think communications are so vitally important
Mm-hmm.
um, to really be able to ensure that everyone's on the same page and that we're moving forward in the same direction, but also thinking about that personalized, individualized attention and relationship. I think it's important that you have these open communication channels and having these opportunities to really be able to connect with your people so that they are able to just be abreast, aware, and engaged in what's going on in the organization.
Yeah, and everything that you're talking about, it it it's not. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be something that takes a whole lot. Something as simple as team meetings and making sure that major decisions get communicated to everyone, and that people have an opportunity to weigh in, on decisions that really should require buy-in. Providing the space and opportunity for that. And so, what that could look like is a leader. You as an executive leader may see we need to make this turn as an organization. We need to change our strategy, or we may need to do this XYZ differently. Just something as simple as having a team meeting to discuss that and then maybe get some preliminary feedback is way simpler and way better than making the decision, and then you kind of go weeks and months up the road, and then we're like, oh yeah, this is the new thing that we're doing, and people are like, wait a minute, when did we decide that, like,
Mhm.
how did we get there, you know it causes people to feel really excluded and not bought in. And so I think that that type of communication through regular meetings, um, and communication, especially of things that are going to touch people's work, I think that that's really important.
So, as you were talking, it made me think about the fact of, being a open and inviting organization where really valuing the collaborative aspect. Of course, not every, like, there are some decisions that are made at various levels, but as much as possible, being able to have this collaborative, open experience is really powerful. And I think that really speaks to the type of leader that you are, being respectful and understanding that you have this group, this team of individuals that have so many different expertise, experiences, and skills that being able to engage it is really just going to help strengthen the organization. And so
Mm-hmm.
I love to think about team meetings or just times where others are together as opportunities to really be able to kind of like be able to learn from each other and having this collaborative environment. So you made me think of that as you were talking,
Mm-hmm.
and just wanted to bring that up. So, how about we go to our fourth effective way of making every day a Team Spirit Day? So, we've talked
Mm-hmm.
about three so far, and to recap, it's paying attention and rewarding, being able to
Mm-hmm.
celebrate the individual, connecting the dots, and finally, using a mantra. And so, I have been in organizations where the whether it was like the official motto or mantra of the organization, or if it was something that just kind of developed over time, but it was something that everyone knew. For instance, when I worked with actually my father's company, our mantra was excellence through teamwork. And so it wasn't something that we just said or that was just part of the tagline of the logo. But when we came into team meetings, we knew that we were able to get things accomplished because we were working together as a team that was really focused on a common goal. And then the excellence part really helped us understand this is how we're executing. We're executing with excellence, ensuring that everything that we bring to the table meets a high standard of quality, a high standard
Mm-hmm.
of, understanding our customer base and being able to integrate that into the products and services that are being provided. So I think a mantra can really not only, be a verbal reminder of what the organization stands for, but then your actions align with that and really helps individuals see that, hey, not only do we say this, but we do this, and it's expected. It's really embedded into the
Mm-hmm.
ethos of the organization. And I know that I'm a part of this organization because the
Mm-hmm.
actions reveal the alignment with those values.
Yes, definitely. One thing that kind of comes to my mind is my participation in a ministry that had a mantra called, the mantra was every member a minister. And the
Mm-hmm.
idea was there's not this select group of people who function as ministers, but everybody has a role to serve. And so, just by that being a catchphrase that was used over and over and over and over again, it kind of set up um, just a picture of what that could be like, just to awaken the imagination of people who may not have seen themselves as such, to say, wait a minute, every member is a minister. Okay, so maybe I don't get to just sit here and hang out and
Mm-hmm.
do nothing and not
Mm-hmm.
contribute as a team member, but I can rise to the occasion, since that's also a part of my identity within this organization. So I think mantras have a way of really stoking the imagination of the members of an organization and giving them almost like an aspirational vision for what they can aspire to and live into within their everyday work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's super cool. Thanks for leading us through those four tips.
Yeah.
So that's good. Could you just review them one more time, Krystal?
Sure. So, the four effective ways that we talked about to make sure that every day is a Team Spirit Day is one, paying attention and rewarding, two, celebrating the individual, so really personalized and individualized attention, as well as being able to recognize them in ways that are meaningful to them. Then we talked about connecting the dots as it relates to effective communication and collaborative communication. And then the final one that we just talked about was using a mantra, and really how that aligns your words and your actions for expectations that people can rise to within your organization.
Yes, that's great. That is so, so, so great. So I think, Krystal, it would be a great idea for us to share with everyone on the broadcast the exciting things that we have brewing for them.
Yay.
So just want to tell you all, we have been doing the People Chats weekly for quite a while, and we're really excited. We've been working on a program that actually will help each organization specifically customize their people systems and people processes. And so that is going to be rolling out in April. And so we want to make sure that you are dialed in and are aware of what's coming soon. It can be used by small businesses, nonprofits, and churches alike. It's a process and a framework that will really help make sure that you have the people systems in place that you need in order to fulfill your mission and work towards seeing your vision fulfilled as an organization. So if you are interested in staying tuned and staying posted of what we are preparing for you, want to encourage you to sign up. We have a free downloadable called a Level Up. It's a document that will help you identify where you are in terms of your people systems and the steps that you can take to move to the next level. Everybody is somewhere. There's no such thing as having arrived like overnight. And so since growing as an organization is a process, we want to equip you with what you need to move from where you are to the next step. And so we encourage you, we're going to drop the link into the comments. And by downloading that, not only will you receive a resource that will help you right now to identify where you are and some steps that you can use to move forward, you also will be on the waiting list to be notified, to be the first notified for when we introduce our People Academy to you in April. So I'm really excited about that. What do you think, Krystal? Anything that you want to add?
No, I think you said it all. I mean, but I will add something. Like, I'm just really excited about the People Academy because, so many times we've talked about this before, so many times we're dealing with kind of the transactional day-to-day things of HR, and this is really going to help you with strategy and operations. So taking it to a slightly higher level and really giving you that senior level support and guidance that your organization can really benefit from. And so we're just really excited to be able to provide this resource and cannot wait until April when we're able to share it fully with you. So make sure you download the resource so that you can get on the waiting list because you don't want to miss it.
Yes, you definitely don't want to miss it. Well, thank you so much for joining us for today's People Chat. It's always great to be with you. It's great to be with you, Krystal, talking about these things. And so we look forward to seeing you next week as you tune into our weekly People Chat.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
take
Take
care.
care.
Bye.
Bye.